Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Nosedive Show. It's not the Nosedive Show. It's the daily DCA show, and today we DCA'd, and here's some embarrassing numbers. We're at $6,544. We've DCA'd $7,000. We're down almost $500. Wild. And why is that? That's because the market is crashing. How exciting, right? And it seems like I purchased at the top every day in the lead up because we started here, I think. And so I've just been buying at the top of these things for whatever reason. Should have been buying at the bottom, whatever. We're DCAing, so it doesn't even matter. We're just going with the flow. We're below 42,000 though. Not great news. Nobody wants to be below 41,000, sorry. Or 42, yes, 42,000. Nobody wants to be below 42,000. And this means when we're below 42,000, it means 30% of crypto holders are in the negative. Not good news. Nobody's happy. Nobody's particularly happy, right? Everyone's a little like, ugh. But for me, I want to see us get to this happy face, right? If we can get to the bottom of this happy face, anything below 40K, I'm going to be pretty happy because that's just a great buying opportunity. That's what that is, right? It's a great opportunity for us, for you and I, because I hope you're dollar cost averaging as well. It's a great opportunity for us to buy in at a dope price. I mean, this is not a bad price, I must admit. 41.7 is not, whatever it is right now. 41.7 is not a bad price. I'm not complaining. But if we can get down here, and this is always the case, by the way, I must admit, this is always the case, right? Even like way back here, what is this? Back in the summer, when wow, look at that spike. We're just above the spike. Let me show you what the spike. I'm being annoying here. The spike was our first dip, right? Our first big dip was that spike. And we're hovering right around that dip. But right around here, back in the summer, oh man, dude, look at there it is. We were always hoping for everyone thought we're going down nine more $1,000 to 20K. That's what we all thought. Well, a bunch of us. And at this time, I wasn't dollar cost averaging. I didn't learn the rules yet. I didn't learn the game. I was just YOLOing in. I just YOLOed it, and it did work out well actually, because we went up, right? And that was great. But we were just YOLOing in, and what we should have done is we should have dollar cost average. I should have started the dollar cost average show here and dollar cost average all across this. This is like 3 months or something from May to July, so it's not very long, about 2 months. Yeah. Yeah, May 20th. Is it? Yeah, but May. Okay, well, May 10th ish to July 20th. So yeah, should have dollar cost. That would have been great because Matt, can you imagine? And we could not have done it that. If we did $1,000 a day, it wouldn't have been enough. We would have had to do something like two, three, four, maybe even 5K a day to really like make this worth the while. I aped in right around. I was like every one of these bottom areas, like probably around. You know what? I averaged in it, so it was probably like something like that. I didn't hit any of the real bottoms. It's so hard to time. You can't time this stuff, right? You obviously can't time it. Because who knew? This could have also gone down, right? It's some whale that decided, all right, here we go. We're gonna pump this from here forward, right? But we had absolutely no idea. Like even if you study it, there's no clear indicator that this would have been it versus anything else, right? You know, it's like this is like I keep referencing this movie and my friends hate me for it, but it's a Fugazi, right? You just don't know these things. You just can't tell. But what I think is going to happen, minus a black swan event, which is, that's when we really don't know what's going to happen. Like, minus a black swan event, what I think is going to happen is we're going to go sideways for a couple more weeks. And I have some reasoning behind this, and I'll bring this up next tomorrow. But I think we're going to go sideways for a couple more weeks, sideways down-ish. And then I think we're going to pump. I think we're going to pump then. Of course, I don't know. If we have a black swan event, well, all bets are off. I.e., if we get something like a Taiwan invasion, you might be familiar, right? If China decides to invade Taiwan, well, game set. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But you know what I think could happen really pretty soon, relatively soon, is an invasion of Ukraine, right? If this happens, we're definitely going to see the markets tank. right? Not as much, not as much as if Taiwan was invaded, it would really hit the fan. Like we would really, really be knocking things out of the park. Like you can get your 20,000 Bitcoin then, maybe. But I'll tell you, you can for sure get your 30,000 Bitcoin. If Ukraine gets invaded, I'm not so sure. People don't care. I mean, it's not. I don't want to say. I don't want to be insensitive, like Chamath Palahapitiya of the All In podcast. If anyone listens to that, please comment below. I like the podcast. I don't want to be insensitive, but Taiwan is a lot more important than Ukraine. Ukraine is not a tech hub. Taiwan produces so much important stuff, right? Like all the semiconductors and all this tech. It's a really important place. Some of my Taiwanese friends absolutely knock it out of the park. And it's clear, like Taiwan is very important. Ukraine gets invaded. I can see this dip. I don't know how much it could dip, but it would dip. And I think it'd be more of a wick. If Taiwan gets invaded, we're going down. Right? It's a much more negative event. Which is what this guy says. Those are called black swan events. And this is Nassim Taleb, a bit of an asshole. But he's also not a big fan of Bitcoin. But he's also like my parents' age. I don't expect this guy to understand this, right? What's he know about digital currencies? What's he know about Instagram? What's he know about the digitization of different things, right? What this guy doesn't understand is that we're heading into digitization of everything. When he was my age, things were on paper, right? The radio was the fad, right? TV was just at the forefront. I think at that time they probably downplayed the TV. They're like, the TV? No, dude. It's too expensive. No one's going to have TVs. It's just like blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a big box. True, at that time. But look at us now. We all have, I don't have a TV. I don't own a TV. But we all have TVs or an equivalent of this laptop, is it, right? I think everything is going digital. And my thesis to this point is things are going so digital that I think our minds will go digital eventually, right? And what do I mean by that? I mean by Elon Musk's Neuralink, right? Will be our gateway to that. And I think when our minds go digital, that is when we really enter the metaverse. And I don't know if that's going to happen in our lifetime, right? You and I watching this, I don't know if it's going to happen in our lifetime, but it would be nice. I'd sign me up for the when that waitlist comes on to get the implant. I'm in immediately. Sign me up. I'm in. It's so cool, so interesting. I'd love to be able to control this Mac that I'm sitting in front of with my mind. That'd be great. But we're totally headed towards this, and I want to bring something else up. Where is this? This is really cool. Milo's introducing crypto mortgages into that's amazing because now if you made a bunch of bucks with Bitcoin, now you can go get a mortgage with this. Great stuff, really cool. But I want to show you this Microsoft's massive metaverse move. This is massive. This is a great indicator. 69 billion, 69. It's a great indicator as to where things are going. We're heading into the metaverse, right? We're going to have goggles. The hardware is not here yet. We're working on it. But when we get it down right, this is where we're headed. We're heading into the metaverse for sure. And it's going to be really interesting things because the reason Microsoft bought Activision is for the designers. It's to make things in the metaverse, right? This image really sums it up. We don't need to read this whole thing. We don't need to go through this. It's to usher in the digitization of stuff. And what I mean by it, here's an iPhone charger. This is for the iPhone 12. It's just an iPhone charger, but imagine you could remake this in the metaverse and you could have an interesting pattern on the back. Maybe the person's logo or I don't know, maybe their initials or something. These are the kind of things that'll be remade in the metaverse. It's really unbelievable, like a keyboard and also like the frame around an NFT, a spoon, right? All of these things will be special things that people hold value to in the metaverse. All of them will be NFTs. And remember, NFTs are securitization platforms, right? Nothing more than that. This is where we're headed. And this is an amazing indicator of, it's really, really cool. I don't dabble in NFTs. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. I don't. They're a little ahead of me. Let's put it that way, right? Like for Nassim, Bitcoin's like so far ahead. He just has to play it down. He just like, no, this is too much. For me, NFTs are a little far ahead of me. I believe in it, but it's just a little too far. And let's talk about one more guy that's really lost his marbles. Charlie Munger. He calls it rat poison, right? He just doesn't. He doesn't get it, and I don't blame him. At this age, at this point in his life, he's had fiat this entire time, and now you ask him to. He didn't even understand the internet. I bet, right? He did. These guys did not get into Apple until recently. They just couldn't understand. They couldn't wrap their heads around it. I don't blame them. If I was their age, and when tech comes out at their age, at my when I'm 90 and tech comes out, I'm going to have a hard time wrapping my head around it. It's going to be such a revolution. For example, Instagram is very difficult for my mom to pick up. TikTok, very difficult, right? It's like difficult to kind of wrap there. Well, not that difficult, actually. TikTok is really intuitive and very, very addictive. I kind of get that. But protect casual buyers from crypto losses? What are you, our father? Chill out, dude. Just chill out. Back off. Take a step back. We don't need this much oversight. It's like, just let me do as I please. I don't need, you know, your guidance, Mr. Billionaire, sir. And I don't have anything against billionaires, but like this kind of stuff always makes me go bonkers. I remember trying to invest in, like, years ago, trying to get into a VC fund, and they were asking me if I was accredited or not. And I'm like, why does it matter? Well, the government wants to know if you're accredited because they don't want you to lose all your money. Well, thank you, but let me lose all my money. Just let me do it. Let me do as I please, because I can also make a whole lot of money if I'm allowed to do as I please. I don't want oversight, right? I don't want oversight. But these things are very, very interesting. I also suspect both these guys. There's a little bit of diatribe against Nassim and Charlie, but these guys are all bank supporters. They want to support the banks. When we don't have the bank, like us Bitcoin folk, crypto folk, we don't need the bank. Most of my net worth is outside of the banks, right? It's in real estate or it's in crypto. I don't want to keep my money in a bank. I don't trust them. If something goes haywire, they're closing those doors and the tellers are gone, right? Even the opening hours of a bank are absurd. Right, I wake up at like 4. I don't wake up at 4 all the time. I don't have some crazy schedule, but like 5, 6, and I want to be out the door by 7. But the bank isn't open. Right, the bank isn't open because they're working on their time. Bank opens at like 10 a.m. and they close real early, like before 5. It's absurd. They're not thinking about the customer. They're not thinking about us. They're thinking about their profits. I want out. I don't want those middlemen in my life. I thought this was really cool. Georgian citizen made to swear an oath to stop mining crypto. A holy oath was taken to try to ensure the region's power grid would work at its most efficient level, as crypto miners are blamed for drawing too much juice. That's so funny. Wow. Well, this is a legitimate problem. But, cash is, yeah, they got electric issues. That's legitimate. Yeah. But aside from that, crypto's crashing, and our daily DCA is tanking right now. We're at $6,500. It's just look at that thing go down. It's funny. We have a total of 7,000 in, but we're down almost $500. Whatever. And I put this in earlier. But obviously, I'm timing the market all wrong, and I'm glad I'm not timing the market because I would suck. I suck at timing the market. Yeah. So today we saw some positivity, but we weren't able to get into it. We just weren't able to slide in. Like, these 2 bars were good, but it just wasn't enough. Like, we switched the daily. We'll see that it's generally a negative day. We're just, what are we at right now? Yeah, we're 41.75. I don't know why it says 42 there. Yeah, we're yeah, 42.059. What is this? Yeah, so being below 42 is not a positive sentiment. This is when we dip, and I suspect tomorrow we're dipping further. All right, I believe we're going downhill to funky numbers like 40k minus below 40k. But let's see. We're dollar cost averaging in. It doesn't really matter. Like, let's just keep going. And as I said before, I hope you are also dollar cost averaging into this market. All right, please don't just watch me and do this. Oh, I see. 42 is the moving average, which is not appropriate here at the 4 hour. Well, let's just see what this looks like. There we go for the movie. So the bull market support band starts at 49,135. We are far away from that. And yeah, I think we have death crosses on this already. But yes, dude, we are not at 42. We're at 41. So I don't know why these two numbers exist. I'm not sure why they're like that. Yeah, 41.7. But yes, I want to get to this happy face. Bottom of the happy face. I'll be pretty happy. I'll be buying. I'll be with you buying, and I hope you are also buying with me. I don't want to be doing this alone. Dollar cost average with me. Anyways, aside from that, let us speak tomorrow. Excited to check on the market. Have a great night.